My arch-nemesis Ethan and I have been constantly bickering back and forth, but suddenly I realize he's the point of contact for our company's new partner. How on earth is this mess going to end? From Ellie's perspective, truth or dare? You picked truth, so don't beat around the bush. Do you prefer the gentle warmth of a quiet, tender moment, or the wild, unrestrained thrill of letting loose? Ethan rested his fingertips against his chin, a half-smile playing on his lips, his gaze direct yet burning hot, as if this weren't a personal question at all, but simply asking me what I'd had for dinner today. I clenched the cup in my hand so tightly that my knuckles turned white, and my heart skipped a beat. Yet he was smiling, his tone laced with an unmistakable, unyielding challenge, clearly aiming to put me on the spot. I guess it depends on the situation. I bit my lower lip, deliberately slowing down my speech, trying to hide the shock in my eyes. Inside, my mind raced, tossing back and forth. Was he just messing with me out of pure mischief, or did he really have something else in mind? I'm being completely honest here. I prefer wild, passionate sex, but tender intimacy with someone you love can be just as fiery and mind-blowing. Well, at least that's how I imagine it. No way, scientist. You've got to pick one. Your choice is either slash or. All right then. Wild, passionate sex. I think I'll go make another drink. Anyone want to join me? I stood up and headed toward the kitchen. I'll have one too, said Ben. Ethan, I heard Ben warn me. I'm just going to get a drink. Man, relax. He followed me into the kitchen. Is Ben worried you're about to sneak your hand under my skirt without asking? I turned to face him and asked. He grinned. A grin so devilishly sexy it made my heart skip a beat. Glad to see you're in such a good mood. I think he's more worried you'll fall for me and end up getting your heart broken instead. Just reassure him. Something like that'll never happen in a million years. Keep pretending you're not interested in me then. You really think you're something special, don't you? I've got a mirror at home, he shrugged. I clenched my fists hard to resist the urge to roll my eyes, yet my fingertips couldn't help but curl involuntarily. But as soon as the words left my mouth, I instantly regretted them. Why did my gaze keep slipping over to his sharply defined jawline? Why did that self-assured smile of his make my heart skip a beat? I should have hated his superficiality, and yet I couldn't deny that there was something damnably attractive about his rebellious, untamed vibe. This conflicting feeling wrapped itself around me like a vine, leaving me utterly uncomfortable.
Fine.
You might be charming, but charm means different things to different people. For you, it clearly means a lot, and that's precisely why I'd categorize you as shallow. He laughed even more openly. I mean, you might be able to attract me, but I've been attracted to plenty of jerks before, and I've always managed to avoid any contact with them. You talk about these ordinary things like a scientist, and that makes you even sexier. If all this is part of some plan to get me into bed, save yourself the trouble. It'll never happen. We'll see about that. You're such a jerk. And the jerk was still laughing. Do you have something against sex or something?
No.
But it's none of your business. I thought someone like you would understand that sex can just be a pleasurable experience between two consenting adults. Of course I understand. It doesn't seem that way. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. The problem isn't casual sex, it's you. Me? He frowned, his face full of indignation. Right, I'm not interested in sleeping with someone who'll act like he doesn't even know me the next day, just because he's a total jerk. So, you're looking for a boyfriend? Don't talk nonsense. My personal life isn't the point. I'm just explaining why there'll never be anything between us. You're being so unreasonable. It's just sex, after all. If you knew what you're missing out on, you'd stop turning it down. Oh my God. He's so arrogant. Have you ever considered that maybe you're overestimating your own worth? I need something stronger than beer to put up with this whole spiel of yours. I growled in frustration. A wicked smile curled at the corner of his lips. What are you thinking? You said you wanted something stronger. Cut it out. You're such a pervert. Whiskey, now that's a proper answer, since you're so keen on playing the respectable guy. Respectable? Is that what you call turning down a woman who turned you down? The game has just begun. Soon enough, you'll be begging me to touch you. Dream on. In my dreams, You won't just be begging me. You'll be doing much more than that. Damn it. I clenched my back molars tight, desperately trying to suppress the panic welling up inside me, refusing to let his words seep in. I shouldn't even be thinking about such filthy thoughts. Yet somehow, my mind kept replaying his smile in crystal clear detail, the way his deep eyes seemed to carry hooks, hooking right into the very core of my heart and making it tremble. Damn it all. This must be the alcohol messing with my head, absolutely. Ellie, snap out of it. He's nothing but a jerk who only knows how to think with his lower half. But the more I told myself that, the clearer that tiny flicker of doubt became, a tiny thorn pricking me, leaving me both itchy and sore. Did I leave you speechless, scientist? I was searching for the right words, and now I've found them. Just keep on living in your dreams. Don't worry. When the time comes, I'll remember how much you like it rough. He winked at me and turned around, heading back to the living room. Oh my God. I took a deep breath, trying to shake off the images that kept popping into my mind. What on earth is he trying to do? Is it some kind of twisted amusement for him to torment me like this? I've got to admit he's succeeded. But what's even more devastating is, why does my body react to his provocations? My rational mind is screaming at me to stay away, yet somewhere deep inside, there's this tiny voice whispering, wanting to know what else he'll say or do next. This feeling of resisting yet being drawn deeper and deeper, it's driving me crazy. And now I'm actually still thinking about what he said, that he dreamed about me. Is it true? It doesn't matter, Ellie. Just forget he ever existed. You don't need a guy like him in your life. There are already plenty of jerks out there. I can see you're so mad your head's about to smoke, Anna said as she walked over. What did he say? Same old stuff, trying every possible way to provoke me. I'm starting to think the two of you actually enjoy this whole thing. Come on. He's the biggest jerk around. You know what they say about the relationship between love and hate. If you say one more ridiculous thing, I swear I'll smash this bottle over your head. We both burst into laughter. Do you ever find yourself thinking about him all the time? Please, don't start that conversation. I'm your best friend. Be honest. I try not to think about him, but as soon as you bring it up, I just can't help myself. It's really weird, you know? He seems like the kind of person who takes his work incredibly seriously, but as soon as he gets close to you, a whole different side of him comes out. What exactly are you trying to say? I'm not sure. Just listen to me. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to indulge in a little bit of carefree fun once in a while. I can't believe you'd actually say that. He's not as bad as we thought. Maybe we've been judging him wrong all along. I'm starting to kind of like him, actually. That's because he hasn't been talking nonsense to you. I just feel like I'm not going to sleep with him. That's it, no more. Later, when I got home, I couldn't fall asleep at all. When I finally did drift off, I had this vivid, tantalizing springtime dream about someone. He'd already wormed his way into my head, and I found myself replaying his words over and over again, unable to stop thinking about them. By then, I'll remember, you liked it rough. Ethan's perspective. On Monday, I stopped by my younger brother's place for breakfast on my way home. I'd been missing New York, and it felt so good to be back. After living in London for 6 years, I'd picked up quite a few British habits. But I knew I'd soon start missing London. Its people, their polite yet restrained manners, which made me feel at ease and perfectly aligned with my longing for a calm, undisturbed life. I'm heading out, honey, Zoe said as she walked over and kissed my brother. If anyone asked, I'd surely deny it, but deep down, I was actually envious of everything they had. Zoe burst into my brother's life like a hurricane. I still remember how crazy he'd been when he first met her, more restless, more irritable, because he couldn't stand her yet couldn't help being drawn to her. Those days with Bennett were nothing short of torture. Thinking about it now, I found myself recalling that mad scientist again. She occupied my thoughts far more than I cared to admit. I quickly shook off the thought. Bye, Ethan, we'll talk later, she said with a smile. Zoe was a beautiful, elegant woman, but what made her truly exceptional was her resilience, her unwavering determination to fight tooth and nail for everything she wanted. After getting to know her a little better, I quickly grew fond of her and came to admire her deeply. At the same time, though, I just couldn't understand how the two of them could put up with their differences without ending up in a fight. But then again, I could see that deep down, they were both equally stubborn. My younger brother is one of the most determined people I've ever met, and I can't even put into words how proud I am of him, and how proud I feel to be working alongside him. Don't encourage him, Bennett said dismissively, giving her a sidelong glance. We were sitting at the kitchen counter, eating breakfast. Mind your own business, Morgan, she rolled her eyes. Good luck with your work, she said before heading toward the door, her heels clicking sharply against the floor. Don't mess with her, or you'll be in for a world of trouble, he said, pointing his fork at me. It's nothing to worry about. Oh, really? The situation Zoe wants to see, and what you're trying to do right now, are completely two different things. I'm just trying to teach that woman a lesson. What kind of lesson could you possibly give her? I've told you time and again, messing with Ellie was a terrible idea. She's not someone you can handle. Looks like you agree with her, that she's better than I am. That's not what I meant, and you know it. Your lifestyle, plus what I've heard them talking about what Ellie wants now, is simply incompatible. It's bound to end badly. My lifestyle?
Exactly.
All you want is sex, because you're an idiot, wanting to stay single for life, while still terrified of falling for anyone ever again because of what happened in the past. What's it got to do with me? She's an attractive woman. Inviting her to bed wasn't an insult to her. She was the one who started it, criticizing me and being arrogant and rude. I tried to smooth things over just as you asked, but she refused. Why on earth should I keep going? You don't have to keep going, just stop doing what you're doing right now. As long as she stops insulting me, I'll back off. You're the one who started the trouble in the first place. Come on, Ben, I was just asking her to bed. It's not a big deal. She could have just said no, but instead she insists on painting me as the worst kind of jerk and making my life miserable. She's overreacting. You're the jerk, plain and simple. She's our friend, and you've known her for less than 5 minutes, yet you're already thinking about sleeping with her. He stood up and put his plate into the sink. If only she'd said yes, we could have had a really nice evening. Why on earth do you have to make this so complicated? You're trying to act like it's totally normal, but I know deep down you actually understand her perspective. I may understand, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let her use this as an excuse to show off and treat me however she pleases. It's her who's being unreasonable. Just remember, I warned you when things went south. You've never exactly treated women any better yourself, so how dare you lecture me? I know the two of you want different things. So just stay away from her, both for your own sakes. She's the one who started trouble in the first place, Ben. Then just end it.
Fine.
I'll teach her a lesson first. He laughed, then turned and leaned against the sink. When you hit rock bottom, don't say I didn't warn you. Life will teach me a lesson only after that woman spends a night with me and then begs me to come back. Go ahead, do whatever you want. But remember, eventually, it might be you who's begging for help. I'm nothing like you, he shot back. That's true. You're way dumber than I am. Honestly, I'd love to see how Ellie manages to handle you. Now, get to work. What's my little brother thinking? Does he really think I'll end up repeating his own mistakes, getting tangled up with that arrogant, self-important scientist? She does have her charms, no doubt about it. I've spent plenty of time imagining her curvy hips. I picture myself sliding my hand inside the skirt she'll wear on Friday, wondering what her skin would feel like, whether it's as soft as I've imagined. And then there's the image of her full lips wrapping around mine, those blue-gray eyes looking up at me as she tilts her head back, my fingers gripping the nape of her neck, weaving through her messy, brown curls. Oh yeah, I think about all this a lot. I even fantasize about making her beg me to come inside, to wipe that smug, "You're not good enough for me" expression right off her face. But that's as far as it goes. She needs to learn a lesson, and I'd better stop thinking about her shapely backside already. Overthinking a woman, no matter how much you might be drawn to her for purely sexual reasons, is never a good idea. So if she insists on labeling me a jerk, then I'll just be a total jerk. Our new client is the Independent Research Lab at Columbia University. After all, finance is still finance, no matter what kind of company we're serving. That's our guiding principle. Our job is to sort out the accounts and provide clients with the most efficient solutions possible. Morgan Harris Financial started from scratch 11 years ago, when my younger brother and Will decided to go into business even before they'd graduated. I later joined as a partner. I don't think either of them ever imagined the company would grow to its current size, with annual profits in the millions and having opened a London branch just 6 years after its founding, to be precise, 6 years ago. All of this is the result of hard work. I never would have imagined that at 25 I'd be managing a foreign branch office, but now, at 31, I'm filled with nothing but pride. I've made it. Thanks to Bennett and Will for trusting me. Work is my everything. No matter what drove me to become so absorbed in it that I neglected other aspects of life, it doesn't matter. Work has given me everything: stability, confidence, and far more than I could ever need. I've never allowed any other part of life to overshadow or interfere with my work, not even during the darkest moments of my life. So why on earth does life feel compelled to play tricks on me now? Mr. Morgan, said the lab director, this is Miss Ellie Brown. She's in charge of our research department. As the director spoke, I rose from my office chair and turned around, only to come face to face with this woman. She almost couldn't hide her surprise, and her face instantly turned pale. Mr. Morgan, nice to meet you, she said, extending her hand once she'd regained her composure. My gaze swept from her slender legs up to the black dress just above her knees, then down to the skin visible beneath the open collar of her white shirt. I cleared my throat, took the hand she offered, and made an effort to ignore the stirring sensation in my lower body. Ethan Morgan, nice to meet you, Miss Brown, I thought to myself, wondering why she hadn't mentioned that we'd known each other all along. My eyes lingered on her soft fingers. She shook hands firmly, exuding confidence. Then she withdrew her hand, and Ms. Anderson resumed speaking. Ellie, I've just explained to Mr. Morgan that you're free to answer any questions he might have for the research department. Of course, Alice. Feel free to come to me if you need anything. Great. Suddenly, the door behind us was knocked upon. The secretary pushed the door open just a crack, poked her head in, and said there was a delivery that Ms. Anderson needed to sign for. Excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back. She smiled at us, closed the door behind her, and left us alone. The air instantly grew heavy, and an intense sense of tension washed over us. I glanced at her. She had her hands on her hips, took a deep breath, and stared blankly ahead. Was she panicked? Well, so was I. This is really unexpected. I finally spoke up, my eyes fixed on her profile. Unexpected? This has got to be some cruel joke, she said through clenched teeth, finally turning to look at me, with hatred blazing in her eyes. I resisted the urge to provoke her further. This is work, Ethan, don't get it mixed up. We've just got to accept it. When Alice told me she'd be partnering with a company to handle the finances, I never would have guessed it'd be your brother's firm. First of all, this isn't my younger brother's company. It's our company. Morgan Harris is a partnership. Then couldn't they just send another partner over? Ben or Will, anyone would do. You think I'm here for you? Come on, don't be ridiculous. So you didn't know Anna and I are working here? She asked in an accusatory tone. Why on earth would I know? Because she's your partner's wife. What makes you think I'd want either of you involved in my work? I'm the one handling this deal, and neither Will nor my younger brother even knows about it yet. I don't believe you. Believe what you want. Just stay out of my way. Out of your way? You're the one who barged into my territory. You're really full of yourself, aren't you? I can't believe something like this would actually happen. Be professional. It's not that hard, she said, her gaze fixed on me as if she were about to pounce and tear me apart. You. She was just about to scold me when Ms. Anderson returned. I stifled a laugh and did my best to suppress the reaction in my lower body. Why did I get so excited whenever I saw her angry? Damn it, this is work. Just keep it together. Sorry, I had to take care of an urgent matter, Ms. Anderson said as she sat back down at her desk. Mr. Morgan, we've pretty much covered everything. Just give me a reply. Of course. I'll reach out as soon as we make a decision. I'll discuss it with my partner as soon as possible. After shaking hands, I stood up. Ellie was still standing by her chair, arms crossed over her chest. I made an effort not to look at how her arms seemed to press against her breasts. Suddenly, Alice's phone rang. She answered it, said, "Hold on a sec," then set the phone aside. "Ellie, since you're here, could you please see Mr. Morgan out?" Of course. She forced a smile and took a step toward the door. She pushed the door open and held it open for me to pass through. As I walked by, I deliberately waited for her to close the door behind me. "I'm sure you know the way." She turned around, gritting her teeth as she whispered, "Are you planning to disobey your boss's orders?" "She's not my boss." "Oh." "I'm not her secretary or receptionist. I'm the head of the research department. Alice is just a colleague, not my supervisor, so I'm not going to escort you out. I don't want to spend another second near you. I'm really impressed that you can still put on such a professional act." "Screw you," she snapped, words that caught me off guard and only intensified the reaction down below. "Is that all you're going to do? Does she really hate me this much that she can't even stand being near me? Do me a favor. Next time you come around here, just don't show up in front of me. You know, I might actually need you to help out with some questions for the research department." I teased her deliberately. She spun around, stomped off in her heels, fuming with anger, and gave me the middle finger as she walked away. I couldn't help but laugh. Was she really wearing a white lab coat? The image of her strutting around in heels, clad in that white lab coat, and nothing else underneath, kept looping through my mind all afternoon. From Ellie's perspective, back in the office, my head was still buzzing with rage. This couldn't be happening. In my own territory, it was definitely no coincidence. He could torture me anywhere he wanted, but he'd better not set foot in my workplace. I could put up with his provocations, but I'd never let him push me too far. Son of a bitch. How could he possibly not know that Anna and I work here? Could it really be true? Where has Anna been? It's probably lunchtime by now. Has she been out all day? I've got to talk to her. Maybe she can help me figure this out. Why didn't Will even mention it? That bastard Morgan must be lying. Anna didn't show up until late in the afternoon. She walked up to my door, holding a cup of coffee. She works in another department and sometimes even teaches at the university. "Where have you been?" I asked as she sat down across from me and placed her coffee cup on the table. "I went to Columbia University to take care of some business. I brought you a coffee strong, just the way you like it." "What's wrong?" "You'll never guess who showed up here, or rather, you probably should have guessed. Come on, make it clear. Why didn't you tell me that your husband's company is going to be partnering with us?" "What?" "I had no idea," she said. "Will didn't mention a thing?" "Not a word." "Did Will come by?"
No.
"It was Bennett's little brother, the jerk." "Ethan? What would he want?" "They're planning to sign a cooperation agreement with the lab."
Oh.
Now I remember. Alice did mention hiring a financial consulting firm. "So, your husband's company is going to partner with the organization we work for, and you've got absolutely no clue about it?" "I told you, Will didn't say anything." "Guess that means he wasn't lying," I muttered under my breath. What was that? I thought that jerk was deliberately trying to bug me. "You think he did it on purpose?" "That's serious." Bennett and Will would never go along with it, and as far as I know, Ethan takes his job incredibly seriously. But that doesn't change the fact that this whole thing is just a joke. You two really need to sort this out. Maybe in bed, she said with a laugh. "Don't make me pour this coffee right in your face. Just admit it. You're attracted to him. Does that even matter? If you just looked at him from a different angle, it'd be so much easier. He's an asshole. I've been through so much. Why you keep pushing me toward guys like him?" "I'm sorry, but I think you're using all this hatred just to deny how drawn you are to him."
"What do you want from me?"
"Right now, all I want is to personally strangle him every time I see him. I'm your best friend, and I'll always be here when you're ready to finally tell the truth. Do me a favor, get Will to replace Ethan and take over this partnership." "I'm not getting involved in this," she refused, and I let out an exasperated sigh. What Anna wants me to admit is precisely the truth I've been desperately trying to deny. Seeing Ethan Morgan in a suit, sporting that arrogant smirk, the kind that says, "I'm the best in the world," has affected me. A feeling I'd rather die than ever admit. Lately, He's been occupying my thoughts constantly, even popping up in my dreams. The pull he exerts over me has become almost unbearable. I want to grab his golden hair, rip off his clothes, and let him possess me, from below, from above, from behind. Once this thought surfaces, it spreads like wildfire, setting my cheeks on fire. But then, the next second, I snap back to reality. How could I possibly feel this damn way about a jerk like him? I clench my fists, digging my nails deep into my palms. My pride won't let me bow my head. So, what if I'm actually drawn to him? A man like Ethan Morgan, who measures everything solely by desire, doesn't deserve to step into my life at all. He wants me to take the initiative? He wants me to beg him? Dream on. There's never going to be any chance between us. Yet, as soon as I turn over and lie in bed, his smile, his teasing remarks, and the way he stood tall in a suit, uncontrollably, they all reappear before my eyes, leaving me wide awake in the darkness, caught in endless confusion and restlessness.